Urinary tract infection, never again. The natural secret that doctors don't tell you. Have you ever felt that intense burning when urinating and an uncontrollable urge to run to the bathroom all the time? Why do some people have recurrent urinary tract infections while others never suffer from this problem? Is there a natural and effective way to eliminate urinary tract infection for good? If you've ever experienced this discomfort or know someone who constantly suffers from this problem, you know how desperate it can be. In addition to physical discomfort, urinary tract infection can disrupt your routine, compromise your work, and even affect your quality of life. But are traditional treatments really the only way out? Today, we're going to dive deep into this subject and unravel everything you need to know to avoid, treat, and prevent urinary tract infection naturally and effectively. And at the end of this video, you'll have practical science-based tips that can change your urinary health forever. Let's get started. What causes urinary tract infection? A urinary tract infection occurs when microorganisms, especially bacteria, invade the urinary tract and begin to multiply. But did you know that the most common bacteria involved in this problem is Escherichia coli? It lives naturally in the intestine, but when it migrates to the urethra, it can trigger a urinary tract infection. This happens due to several factors, and one of the main ones is the lack of proper hygiene. The simple habit of cleaning yourself in the wrong direction after going to the bathroom can make it easier for these bacteria to enter the urinary tract. Another common factor is urinary retention. Holding the pee for too long allows the bacteria more time to multiply, increasing the chances of infection. In addition, the lack of adequate hydration impairs the body's ability to eliminate microorganisms through urine. Drinking too little water means urinating less, and this can make it easier for bacteria to grow. For women, the risk is even greater. The female urethra is shorter than the male urethra, which makes it easier for bacteria to reach the bladder. Hormonal changes, such as those that occur during pregnancy or menopause, can also alter the balance of the urinary system, making the environment more conducive to infections. And there is one more factor that few people know. The frequent use of antibiotics can end up killing the good bacteria that protect the body, allowing the bad ones to multiply more easily. Now that you know what may be causing your urinary tract infections, it's easier to prevent yourself. But is there a natural way to get rid of them for good? Is it possible to get rid of urinary tract infection naturally? If you've ever suffered from a UTI more than once, you've probably heard that the only solution is to take antibiotics. But is there a natural way to fight this infection and prevent it from coming back? The answer may surprise you. In recent years, several scientific studies have pointed out that simple changes in lifestyle and consumption of certain foods can help prevent and even eliminate recurrent urinary tract infections. The first and most important natural measure is to stay hydrated. Drinking plenty of water helps eliminate bacteria from the urinary tract before they can cause an infection. In addition, some natural substances have antimicrobial properties and can prevent bacteria from attaching to the walls of the urinary tract. Cranberry, for example, contains proanthocyanidins, compounds that make it difficult for Escherichia coli to adhere to the bladder, reducing the risk of infection. Another natural strategy is to consume foods rich in probiotics, such as plain yogurt and kefir. They help balance the gut microbiota and strengthen the immune system, making the environment less conducive to infections. Food also plays a crucial role. Reducing sugar consumption can prevent the proliferation of bad bacteria, while a high-fiber diet improves bowel function and reduces the risk of recurrent urinary tract infections. But if natural methods can help so much, why doesn't everyone use them? Are we ignoring important signals that our body gives about urinary tract infection? What happens to your body when you have a urinary tract infection? A urinary tract infection may seem like just a passing nuisance, but what happens inside your body when this condition sets in? The first sign is inflammation in the urethra and bladder. As soon as the bacteria begin to multiply, the body goes into action, activating the immune system to fight the infection. This inflammatory process is responsible for symptoms such as burning when urinating, pain in the pelvic region, and the constant feeling that the bladder never empties completely. In addition, the body tries to get rid of bacteria by increasing the urge to urinate. The problem is that, many times when going to the bathroom, the person feels only intense discomfort, as the infection irritates the walls of the bladder. In some cases, the infection can advance to the kidneys, causing pyelonephritis, a more serious condition that can trigger high fever, chills, and severe back pain. If left untreated, urinary tract infection can lead to serious complications such as generalized infection. What few people know is that antibiotics, although essential in some cases, can compromise the intestinal flora and reduce the body's natural defenses, making the person more susceptible to new infections. Therefore, in addition to the treatment indicated by the doctor, it is essential to strengthen the body with healthy habits. But if urinary tract infection can be so harmful, what happens if it is not treated? The consequences could be even worse than you think. What are the consequences if you don't treat the urinary tract infection? Many people ignore the first signs of urinary tract infection, believing that the problem will go away on its own. But do you know what can happen if this infection is not treated properly? The first risk is the spread of infection. If the bacteria multiply unchecked, the infection can travel up the bladder to the kidneys, causing a more serious condition called pyelonephritis. Pyelonephritis can cause high fever, chills, nausea, vomiting, and severe pain in the lower back. If left untreated, it can even lead to kidney failure. Another serious complication is urinary sepsis. When the infection spreads to the bloodstream, it can cause a severe inflammatory response throughout the body, leading to life-threatening death. In addition, recurrent urinary tract infections can affect your quality of life. Imagine having to deal with pain, burning, and constant trips to the bathroom every day. This can harm your performance at work, your social routine, and even your mental health. And it doesn't stop there. Chronic inflammation in the urinary tract can weaken the lining of the bladder, making it more susceptible to further infections. Over time, this creates a vicious cycle. Each new infection becomes more difficult to treat, requiring stronger antibiotics. But why do some people suffer from repeated urinary tract infections, while others have never had this problem? The answer may lie in a surprising detail about your own body: urinary tract infection. Why does it always come back? If you've had a urinary tract infection more than once, you may be wondering, why does it always come back? Recurrent urinary tract infections are a problem for many people, and the answer to this repetition may lie in different factors. One of the main reasons is the persistence of bacteria in the body. Even after treatment, some bacteria can remain attached to the walls of the bladder, forming a kind of protective biofilm. This biofilm prevents antibiotics or the body's own defense from completely eliminating microorganisms, allowing them to multiply quickly again. Another common factor is the overuse of antibiotics. While antibiotics are essential for treating infections, their frequent use can end up destroying not only the bad bacteria, but also the good ones, which help protect the urinary tract. This weakens the natural balance of the bacterial flora, making room for new infections to emerge even more easily. In addition, hormonal issues can influence the recurrence of infections. Women in menopause, for example, suffer from a reduction in estrogen, which can alter the vaginal pH and favor the proliferation of harmful bacteria. Factors such as stress, low immunity, inadequate hygiene, and even the frequent use of tight clothing can also contribute to the return of urinary tract infection. But there is an even more surprising relationship that may be behind this problem: the connection between the intestine and the urinary tract infection. And that link could be the key to ending infections once and for all. Your gut may be making you sick. The surprising connection to a urinary tract infection. Did you know that the health of your intestine can be directly linked to urinary tract infection? This may be the reason why some people suffer from recurrent infections, while others have never had this problem. The intestine is home to trillions of bacteria that form the gut microbiota, which is essential for digestion, the balance of the immune system, and protection against harmful microorganisms. When this microbiota is healthy, it prevents pathogenic bacteria, such as Escherichia coli, from leaving the intestine and invading other parts of the body. But when there is an imbalance, called dysbiosis, the bad bacteria gain strength and can migrate to the urinary tract, increasing the risk of infections. This is because the proximity between the anus and the urethra facilitates this migration, especially in women who have a shorter urethra. In addition, a dysregulated gut can weaken the immune system, making the body more vulnerable to infections. And there's more. The excessive use of antibiotics to treat urinary tract infections can destroy the beneficial bacteria in the intestine, making this vicious cycle even worse. The good news is that restoring gut health can be an essential step in preventing urinary tract infections naturally and lastingly. But there is a silent enemy that may be sabotaging your gut health and consequently increasing the risk of urinary tract infections: sugar. And if you consume sugar regularly, you may be feeding the bad bacteria without even realizing it. The silent enemy: how sugar may be fueling your urinary tract infection. Have you ever stopped to think that sugar may be behind your recurring urinary tract infections? What few people know is that excessive sugar consumption can create a perfect environment for the proliferation of harmful bacteria in the body. This happens because sugar feeds microorganisms such as Escherichia coli and Candida, facilitating the growth of these bacteria in the intestine and urinary tract. In addition, excess sugar reduces the efficiency of the immune system, making the body more vulnerable to infections. Studies show that after consuming large amounts of sugar, the immune system can be weakened for several hours, which makes room for the action of infectious agents. Another problem with sugar is its impact on the gut microbiota. The imbalance caused by a diet high in refined carbohydrates can lead to dysbiosis, facilitating the migration of bad bacteria from the gut to the urethra. This means that bread for breakfast, soda for lunch, or dessert after dinner may be contributing to your urinary tract infections without you realizing it. But the good news is that reducing sugar consumption can make a big difference in your urinary health. And in addition to avoiding sugar, there are foods that can act as a real protective shield against urinary infections. Do you know what these foods are? They can be the key to strengthening your body and getting rid of infections for good. Foods that act as a shield against urinary tract infection. If sugar can feed harmful bacteria, are there foods that help prevent urinary tract infection? The answer is yes. Diet has a direct impact on urinary tract health, and consuming the right foods can strengthen the immune system and prevent bacteria from proliferating. The first group of essential foods are probiotics. Foods such as plain yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut contain beneficial bacteria that help balance the gut microbiota and reduce the chance of recurrent infections. Another powerful ally is the cranberry. Studies show that this fruit contains compounds called proanthocyanidins, which prevent the Escherichia coli bacteria from attaching to the bladder wall, reducing the chances of infection. In addition, green leafy vegetables such as spinach and kale are rich in antioxidants and strengthen the immune system, making the body more resistant to bacteria. Fiber also plays a key role in preventing urinary tract infections. They help keep the intestine regulated, preventing the excessive proliferation of harmful bacteria that can migrate to the urinary tract. Drinking plenty of water is another key strategy. Proper hydration helps eliminate bacteria before they can multiply, reducing the risk of infections. And for those looking for a natural and effective alternative, there are natural treatments backed by science that can complement the diet and speed up recovery. Have you heard of herbs and teas that help fight urinary tract infection? The next methods might be just what you need. Urinary tract infection: 5 natural treatments that science approves. If you suffer from recurrent urinary tract infections, you've probably taken antibiotics several times. But did you know that there are natural, science-backed alternatives that can help combat and prevent this problem? Here are 5 natural treatments that can be great allies in your recovery. The first is bearberry tea. This plant contains arbutin, a substance with antibacterial properties that help eliminate Escherichia coli from the urinary tract. Studies indicate that regular consumption of bearberry tea can significantly reduce episodes of urinary tract infection. The second is dandelion. This plant has a natural diuretic effect, helping to eliminate bacteria through urine and reducing the risk of new infections. The third is cornhair tea. Little known, but extremely effective, this tea has anti-inflammatory and diuretic properties, relieving irritation in the bladder and facilitating the elimination of bacteria. The fourth natural treatment is parsley. Rich in antioxidants, it helps strengthen immunity and has a slight diuretic effect, contributing to the cleansing of the urinary tract. And finally, the powerful essential oil of oregano. Research shows that this oil contains carvacrol, a compound with strong antimicrobial action, capable of fighting the bacteria responsible for urinary infections. These natural options can complement medical treatment and help prevent further episodes. But what about when the symptoms are already intense and the discomfort is unbearable? In these cases, there is a quick and natural solution that can bring immediate relief. Sitz baths. Sitz baths, the quick fix to relieve symptoms. When the urinary tract infection arrives, the symptoms can be unbearable. The burning when urinating, the pain in the pelvic area, and the constant need to go to the bathroom make any day-to-day activity a real challenge. But there is a simple and natural way to relieve these symptoms quickly. Sitz baths. This technique has been used for centuries to reduce inflammation and soothe the intimate area. Here are 4 effective options you can do at home. The first is the Sitz bath with sandalwood oil. This essential oil has antimicrobial and soothing properties, helping to relieve pain and reduce inflammation. To prepare it, simply add 10 drops of sandalwood oil to 2 liters of warm water and sit in the mixture for 20 minutes. The second is the Sitz bath with bitter salt. Bitter salt helps relieve the burning and itching sensation caused by the infection. Dissolve a cup of bitter salt in a basin of warm water and remain seated for 20 to 30 minutes. The third is the Sitz bath with chamomile. Chamomile has a soothing and anti-inflammatory effect, providing immediate relief. Use 2 tablespoons of dried chamomile flowers for every liter of warm water and bathe for 20 minutes. Finally, the Sitz bath with apple cider vinegar. This method helps balance the pH of the intimate region, making it difficult for bacteria to proliferate. Add 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar for every 2 liters of warm water and sit in the mixture for 20 minutes. Now that you know natural methods to treat and relieve urinary tract infection, what is missing to eliminate it for good? There is one final step that can transform your urinary health once and for all. No more suffering. How to get rid of urinary tract infection once and for all. If you've tried everything and still suffer from recurrent urinary tract infections, you may be wondering, is there a definitive solution? The truth is that it is not enough to just treat the symptoms. To put an end to this problem once and for all, it is necessary to act at the root of the issue. The first essential change is to adopt a balanced diet. Eliminating excess sugar, consuming probiotic foods, and keeping the intestine healthy are key steps to reduce urinary tract infections. The second step is hydration. Drinking at least 2 liters of water a day helps eliminate bacteria from the urinary tract before they can cause an infection. The third crucial point is to strengthen the immune system. Foods rich in vitamins C and D, as well as minerals like zinc and magnesium, help the body fight infections naturally. Another important factor is proper hygiene. Avoiding the use of aggressive products in the intimate area, urinating after sexual intercourse, and cleaning yourself properly after going to the bathroom can make all the difference. And finally, natural treatments can be great allies. The use of teas, Sitz baths, and essential oils can complement conventional treatment and help prevent new episodes. By following these strategies, you can strengthen your body and significantly reduce the chances of suffering from urinary tract infections again. Now the decision is in your hands. Will you continue to suffer, or will you take control of your urinary health? If you apply these changes, you may be closer than you think to getting rid of this problem forever. You no longer have to live with the fear of the next UTI. Now that you know the causes, symptoms, and above all, the natural and effective solutions to treat and prevent this problem, you are in control of your health. Small changes in diet, hydration, and hygiene can completely transform the way your body deals with infections. Taking care of your gut, strengthening your immune system, and betting on natural methods can be the key to finally getting rid of recurring urinary tract infections. And remember, your health is a reflection of the habits you cultivate every day. Every choice counts. Every glass of water you drink, every food you put on your plate, every care you have with your body. Now that you have this knowledge, the question that remains is, what are you going to do with it? If you really want to eliminate urinary tract infection for good, the time to act is now. Start by applying these tips today and feel the difference in your well-being. Your body will thank you, and your quality of life will improve more than you think. And if this content helped you, share it with someone who also needs this information. You could be saving a person from years of unnecessary suffering. The decision to change is in your hands. The first step has already been taken. Now, it's up to you.